I'm sorry.
I'm
All
all
best friends.
useless.
I might sit down and be like, can I get a drink, please?
That's my red flag. My personal red flag. I mind my business. So I'll get into
So I got
no
a question. So let me ask you. So
shit.
is that the same if your husband or your man or your wife has a friend and you're close with the friend? Your husband has a friend and you're close with his friend's wife, and then one day he brings another woman to your house.
Wait,
Oh, that's crazy.
wait, say that again.
That's not going to end well.
Your husband's friend
My
and
husband's
his wife, you and his wife are close, and
friend.
he decides one day to bring his side chick to your house and not his wife. You still mind your business?
My my husband or my husband's friend.
Your husband's friend.
Oh, she getting out. You're not gonna cheat in my house.
That's exactly, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. If I see you outside, that's something different. But you ain't bringing nobody to my house.
Right.
Now I am gonna call your wife because now you just being straight up
Yeah.
disrespectful.
I'm gonna call her and be like, "What you doing? Hey, girl, what you doing?
Like, yeah, like nah, bro. We ain't.
Come
I ain't
over
getting that.
here. Come
Now come
through.
over here.
Nah.
Absolutely. Come
And
over
I'm
here.
and I'm gonna bop my husband in the back of his head for even allowing him to think it's okay to bring some other chick
Yep.
to my house.
Well,
I want
first
to
of
know.
all, the husband probably didn't even know that he was bringing another chick to the house because we would never sign up for that.
They know.
That's your
No,
story.
no,
Bring somebody to somebody else's house and don't let them know.
no. Yeah, you like, oh, I'm gonna bring a friend. I'm bringing a friend by something like that. But he's not gonna openly say like I'm about to bring my side chick over, but come through real quick.
Not in
Bring it.
my
Oh,
house.
you got
Nah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cancer Conversations. I am your host, Kyra. And how y'all doing today? Who is this? How y'all doing today? I hope everybody had a wonderful and beautiful day today. This is our last episode. We going on hiatus for a little bit. We going on vacation. I think we deserved it. We have worked very hard this year and we deserve our little time off. But I thank everybody for tuning in. And hi, Miss Beth. I thank everybody for tuning in to say bye to us for a whole month. So let's get this party started so we can definitely get out of here on time. So let's bring on Mr. Roshawn Davis.
Hello, good evening. We're gonna say we're gonna get on time. We're gonna get out of here on time and we late.
We late every Tuesday. Like, that ain't nothing new, but we still getting the hell out of here on time. That's just like your job. You show up late, but you still leave on time.
Ooh, I wish. I wish.
Well, I know I do. Shit. All right. Yeah, Derek coming out here looking a little different today. So
Debo. Bring Debo out.
I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish today.
What? See, okay. For what you're not gonna do is first of all, you're not gonna be in my house. You don't know what the temperature feel like in my house, so you're not gonna try to judge me as how I am in my house. Like when you next season get a studio, and then you can tell me then you can say something about what Derek is wearing. Until then, you just act like the show's going on. Number one. Number two. Two things are for certain. If I show up to work late, I'm going to lunch on time and I'm leaving on time. Those are given.
Exactly.
No matter what time I walk through that door, I can walk through the door at 12:59 and my lunch is at 1. I'm going to go to lunch.
I'm going to lunch.
You're gonna be like, why my check short?
and I'm gonna clock out at 3:10. I'll tell you, those two things are definite. Those are definitely happen.
They sure is. You better damn it believe it. So, even though we were late today, as we are every Tuesday, we will be leaving on time. Derek will make sure that
we may not leave, but Derek will be going.
Derek can't wait to start his vacay.
You already know.
Yeah, we worked pretty hard this year, so I think we deserve some time off away from everybody. So today's conversation is Black culture partially responsible for the breakdown of the Black community?
There goes a yawn.
Are
you know it's about to be a long night.
For who? Everybody already basically know the answer to that question. It's not like, they don't already know the answer to that question. We know how we act.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say meet us in September with your comment.
Oh God. And I got a whole new camera system, so bring it.
Well, this is not going to be a surprise episode because we all know how we act. We see it every single day. So we know what's going on in our communities. And it's okay. We gonna figure this whole thing out so we can all end up being better people. All right, Derek. Do the Yeezy clip first. Derek don't have.
What do you say to people that say you turned your back on the culture or
exactly
Black
100%? I have turned my back on the idea of victimization mentality. We are locked up. We went from 1 and 4. We went from 1 and 4 to 1 and 3, but we always pointing at the white people. But yet, we want to spend all of our money on foreigns. We want to spend all our money on luxury as opposed to going and buying some land. America is for sale. And there's a lot of barren land. Disney bought a lot of it in Florida. But the culture has you focused so much on fucking somebody, bitch, and pulling up in a foreign and rapping about things that could get you locked up and then saying you about prison reform. Like, bro, we brainwashed out here, bro. Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Have we turned on the Black culture, or did we turn against the Black culture? Is the question. I know a lot of people don't like him because of the things that he say, but in all reality, I think some of the things he say is true. I do think that the Black culture is. I don't think it's the Black culture that's responsible. I think that we are responsible for the breakdown of our own communities. I think that Black people are killing themselves. That doesn't have that comes from us because we don't have to do certain things. Like I think we all just make choices and we just making the worst choices. What you think, Sean?
Let's get back to family.
Oh God, I cannot. We trying to.
Well, good night.
Oh God. I definitely don't do the black on black thing. I definitely don't do that.
Hello, Lady Hazy.
Any violence against anybody is I'm definitely against it. but that whole black on black nonsense was debunked a long time ago, because the numbers say that people tend to hurt or kill people that they're in close proximity of. So 80 to 90% of blacks kill blacks, 80 to 90% of Hispanics kill Hispanics, 80% to 90% of whites kill whites. So when they would spin that whole black on black crime thing, the numbers are basically the same in every community. I'm not justifying anything. Yes, I truly believe that, we can be our worst enemy sometimes, a lot of times. A lot of times, and a lot of times, you have certain environments or certain neighborhoods where who the drug dealers are, who the killers are, who the troublemakers are. We know that our school system is jacked up, but we don't go to the school board meetings. We know that our government our local government, could be better, but we don't go to council meetings the way that we supposed to. Our music, we promote, the worst music ever. You know what I mean?
Justin.
My coochie pink and my booty hole brown was probably the biggest or the most popular line last year. So when we start saying, okay, let's take things serious, then we'll really be on to something. Other than that, just saying, oh, it's just entertainment. Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's nothing. It definitely is something, because our culture is being affected by a lot of what's going on every day. And a lot of times, because it don't land on our lawn, we really ain't got nothing to say about it. But as soon as it land on our lawn, then we want the mark. We want everybody to fight and speak up. But it goes on every day. Every day. Yes, we are a big problem of our community, the downfall of our community. Yes, we are. There's systematic racism. I can go into all of that. I can go into the statistics. I can go into Cash for Kids, where there was a judge in Philadelphia who had stock in the private prison system, and he was funneling kids through his courtroom to go to his jail to make money off of them. There was a federal chemist who, doctored 65,000 DNA samples to send black and brown men to jail on purpose. So there's a lot as far as systematic racism. You have some of the crimes, a black man and a white man could do the same crime, but black men are penalized 3 times what a white man get penalized. So yes, the systematic racism exists, but we can't help them out with, putting a knife in our back. We got to do better.
Yeah. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Derek, what's your feelings on it?
Ain't nothing else to say. He just knocked the whole thing out the park. I teach my students, we create our own enemies, because most times, majority of the time, our enemies look just like us. We subscribe to the what's it called, the Joneses. We want everything that's what's hot. We want everything that's in, and even if that means we knock down our community or burn down our community to get it, that's what we'll do, because we want to have what's in. So I agree with a lot of stuff that Kanye has to say about in those regards. I don't agree with everything he says, But when he starts talking about our mindset and the things that we set out to do and the things that we actually do, a lot of the times he's spot on about it. We build we build up our community to knock it down. So, um, and it is a cultural thing. Um, we talk about we've talked about on the show numerous times about what we about history and how history has made it where we as a people were pent against each other, man against woman, or pent against each other. But now today we openly do it. Now today we do it without the influence of history. We do it because it's easy. It's the debate we have because of traumas. We have all these different reasons to do these things, and it continuously tears down our community, tears down our community even more. So now than it did back then.
I would say, could one of you guys, because I heard him speak on buying foreigns and stuff like that as far as economics in our community, because I do agree with that. As far as how long do a dollar circulate in our community versus other communities? How long do a dollar circulate? Our dollars, when we get paid on Friday, our dollars circulate, I think they said not even 6 hours.
Yeah, I think it was 3 hours.
Yeah, where other communities that, I think the dollar circulated, over a month. You know what I mean? Where our dollars stay in our community. We get paid and give our money straight
For
to
everybody else.
versus building with each other. And I had a store at one time. I was an entrepreneur before going into civil service. And the one thing that I would say is it was so frustrating sometimes because you can see some folks come to you, and if you don't give them the hookup, then you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they'll go to Foot Locker and spend exactly what they're supposed to spend on those Jordans. But when they used to come to me, yo, I only got this, I only got that. I ain't, can I bring it back to you and such and such, and you'll never get it because some people will rather create a beef than to give you your money.
Absolutely.
But you don't want to create nonsense. So sometimes you let certain things go. Sometimes you got to address certain things. I'm a firm believer in, not cutting off your nose to spite your face, not, jeopardizing something so big for something so small. You just choose not to do business like that any longer with certain people. But at the same time, now that person is kicking you down because you ain't give them a hookup. When I truly believe, if you got somebody that who has their own business, I think we should pour into them instead of looking for a hookup. The same way that, let's say you have a baby shower, have a business shower. When you have a friend that opened up their own business, let's say all the friends and family, let's pour into him and give him all of the things that he may, need in his business or her business to help them thrive. So, we can build up our communities. But a lot of us, instead of looking at it like that, they look for a hookup, which, is the opposite of what you should be doing, to be honest, from my thought process.
Or they just I think it's always, we always gonna be our worst enemy because we always in competition with each other. And for what reason? There's no reason for anybody to be in competition with the next person. Like, we all could build together, get money together, and do things together. But we choose not to. You know what I'm saying? We choose to be in competition with other people. We choose to talk about other people. We choose to knock down somebody else's business, Black business, instead of supporting. It's just, It's crazy. And it does come from the mindset, because I don't even know if Black people even know Black culture. like where it originated from, where did it, like, do people even know what Black culture is? But because that's why I say you can't really blame it on Black culture, because I don't really think that this generation and the generation probably before it even understand what that is, what it means, how they operated within the Black culture, so we could have a blueprint of what to do instead of what not to do.
I mean, well, will we be will we be open to looking at what has been successful? You know, to mirror that, because they say if you don't know your past, you know, you're destined to, you know,
The Williams.
you know, you're destined to repeat nonsense. You know, if you don't truly know your past. So we can take it from education to business to even, you know, in marriage, a lot of different things that we choose to just say, I'm going to do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and nobody can tell me nothing.
Yeah.
But then when we're failing, it's like it's like a trauma bond, like sort of like we learn how to maneuver in trauma versus saying, let me change how I am and how we are for the betterment of the culture.
Exactly.
You know, some people ain't willing to do that. Like I said, you'll see a lot of people not worrying about what's going on over there because it's not affecting them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're talking 40s, 50s, 60s, when you talk about Black Wall Street, everybody was all in.
Exactly.
Everybody was all in. We fend for ourselves. You know, they were willing to die. You know, now you got people like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with me.
Exactly. Everybody turn their eye, turn their back to
Yeah.
what.
But then when it lands on their lawn, then it's like, oh, where's the village? The village ain't. I don't see the village no more, because it seems like, and Derek, you can probably speak to this as well
There's
as a
still a
teacher. I'm just saying,
there's still a village.
yeah, I mean, the village is there. I don't think the village mindset is there. As a teacher, you know, when you go to whatever your disciplinary, you know, standards are, when you go to discipline your child, you know, the student, or even if the student fails, you know, I've seen teachers speak on the parents will come and argue with the teacher instead of getting with the teacher to see what they can do to better the situation. Or do he or she have some extra credit stuff that they may be able to do to, you know, to graduate or get promoted? You know, can they, if it's incomplete, can we you know, get that work and turn them incompletes to completes? I mean, instead they come in and instead they're arguing with you. They're ready to cuss you out because their kids fail.
Right.
It's always a fight. But we gotta, like I said, I think we have to blame ourselves too, because even when you have people that are higher and, let's say, in political league, they can't even get along to help their community. They at each other's throats. So
Yeah.
it's like you look at them and it's just like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. I don't know if people just gave the hell up or
But we vote them in. We vote them in.
But look how many people actually come out to vote.
That's the point. So it has to come back to us.
The presidential, everybody think like, oh, it's the presidential vote. No, you see your council people? Like, seriously. Yeah. Have you seen your council people? Not knocking y'all or whatever, but when you have people that instead of them coming together to make it better for your Black communities in the urban communities, y'all just choose to let the same people who haven't done really anything for you to continue to sit there. And then when you get new people to try to come in that have actual good ideas and suggestions, they get pushed to the side. Why? Because they're not popular. Like I never knew that, it was a popularity vote.
Oh, it definitely is a popularity vote.
I always
definitely is.
to vote for what's better for your community. And some people that sit on that board is not what's better for your community. They're the problem. They're the problem. But hey, who am I to talk? I goes out and I vote for everything. Okay, for everything. But that's just me, because I believe that, same people can't sit in the same seat all the time. But yet and still, because they're popular and they're Black, we got to vote for them.
Facts.
Why? Makes no sense.
I can agree with that.
Has no logic. It just has no logic. And I don't even know where y'all get that from. Like, who even made that a rule? Because you're popular and you're Black. Black people must vote for this person. Is that a rule that y'all made up yourselves? Because I'm not understanding. It just doesn't make sense.
I get it, that or a particular party. But I also understand that, some people may go with the lesser of two evils. Because going with the other person because of how they are, you may get worse.
That's true.
You may get worse than what you already have.
You may, but you may get better. I think that people actually took the time to do the research and
You got to do the research. Yeah.
And listen to some of these forums and ask the hard questions and make a logic decision on what you feel as though is best for your vote. I think it would be a lot better. But instead, we go with the okie dokie.
And to understand how government works.
Absolutely.
To understand how government works. Government don't work the way that some people think it works. Mm-hmm. Don't work that way. I mean, so there's a lot that go into it. Municipality, business. People will say, "Oh, I want police in this ward, or I want police in this area," and then they'll be blaming the council person. But the council person is not who can send the police to that ward. But they'll blame the council person for not having more police there. They can request it, but that don't mean that request will be approved. But they're going to always be blamed for it. So you have to understand how government works versus just what you see.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what makes the difference. But I think people have gotten to the point where they're just so into social media and what they see and what they hear on social media. People have gotten just lazy. They don't want to look. They don't want to look for things. They don't want to research things. They don't want to. They just want to. It's whatever popping, whatever the popular conversation is. That's what they make their own. And that's and that's how you live. That's how people live. Like just in anything, just with relationships, with business. It's just like this. Social media is not. It can be a learning tool, but it is not a learning tool. You have to dig deeper and go further back to figure some stuff out and stop following social media trends because that ain't where it's at.
I agree.
But I mean, but you got to understand as well, we're dealing with a certain generation that is born in social media. So
Okay.
that's what they know of. Like they don't know what we actually, went through and what we're built like.
Mhm.
I heard a young lady say, it was on a video, and they were talking about oppression and systematic oppression or whatever. And she was like, well, I was born when Obama was president. You know what I mean? So all I know is, a black person was the president. So she didn't understand that it was a system behind it, just looking at, the
But that's what
aesthetic.
I'm saying. Just from that
Yeah.
right there, okay, that's the era you were born in. But did you ever try to find out what was before Obama?
A
Like,
lot of them
are you
don't.
trying to learn what was before Obama, or even your parents, like the parents should be teaching their kids this stuff and letting their kids know certain things. Not saying that's always right, because
That's
sometimes
what I'm
parents
about to say now. Now
just
that's another segue. That's another segue because now, how much do the parental breakdown add to, the situation? How many broken homes, marriages all the way down. The family court system is jacked up. You got where um between 30 to 40% of the DNA tests come out that it's not even the father. Where so you got kids that don't even know who their parents are. Whereas you have the fights in a court system to whereas some mothers or some fathers can't even have the conversation about what's going on with the child
yeah,
because of certain things that's going on. So that's another breakdown as far as, like I always say at the end of every show, or almost every show, let's get back to family. But that's a struggle in itself.
itself. Yeah,
So that's a breakdown because we all know the numbers say that single parent households do worse than
then
two parent households.
mhm.
They do worse. But what we're constantly going in that direction, like it's like it's the opposite. You know what I mean? Like it's the opposite. No, we know the numbers. A child is better with both parents in their lives, especially when both parents are in the household, especially when both parents are doing the right thing. Because just because you got two parents in a household don't mean that their parents are doing the best or doing what
Right.
they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But the numbers say, two parent households do the best, not just in the black community, but across the whole spectrum. So as we continue to keep doing the same thing, what are we doing?
what are we doing? Jacking up the world. Fucking up the world with the shenanigans. That's
Yeah,
what.
because we can do what we want to do, how we want to do it. Nobody can tell us nothing. It's my life. But if we were doing the right thing, how we supposed to be doing it, things wouldn't be as jacked up as it is.
Absolutely not.
Especially from us, because as far as the majority, the minorities that's in it, Hispanics and blacks, and we're only 13%. It raised up to almost climbing to 20%.
Yeah.
But we're not a lot of the population.
No, we're not.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we doing?
And it's getting less and less every day. So, but it's it's just, I don't know, it's mind boggling how how the communities are and how the kids are being raised. And it's not going to get better. If people don't change their mindsets, it's not going to get better. It's just going to keep getting worse. Because you're raising your children one way, and then you have children, and then you're raising them that way, and then they have children. I think everybody just has to get back to that one accord and stop taking bits and pieces of what they want to say the Black culture and using bits and pieces of it to serve your agenda or what you want things to be, and actually look at the blueprint of what was left way before we was here. Way before we was here.
How do we get to that?
Whew.
How do we get to that? Because what's the caveat? What's the thing with that? You know, especially in family. What's the thing with that?
I can't even say how we get back to it. I just think that we need to we have to change our mindsets first. We have to be able to teach people what Black culture really is, like what family means. It's like, okay, it's the village, but the village is jacked up. It ain't the same like my village. Ain't the same village that these people got. Because my village was able to discipline me. They was able to, they watched us when they knew mommy and daddy wasn't home. Like when nobody had food, the village came and helped the neighbor. They loved thy neighbor. And that was the whole block. Everybody helped each other. This village they got, I don't know what this village is. It ain't the same village I grew up in. So it's like I could teach my kids how I grew up, or give them examples and show them in my household how I grew up. Hopefully they take that and they raise their kids the same way. But everybody's kids ain't being raised the same, because everybody ain't got the same parents, everybody ain't got the same village. And everybody just out, like what Mr. Scotty said, everybody is out for themselves. There's no more help, there's no more support. It's just always the cancel culture. Everybody getting canceled out. If I don't like you, I can't do this. Oh, don't touch my child. You can't. It's just forever ongoing. And I don't even understand how your own people became your worst enemy. It's like we hate each other for what though? Where's it coming from? And it doesn't make sense to me. We came from a culture where it was love. Now we in a culture where we hate each other. We kill each other. We talk about each other. We don't support because somebody is doing better than I'm doing.
Well, we've been killing each other. That's been from a that's nothing new. But the other things I can't understand, I can agree with that, it's everyone's for itself, but that was something that had evolved over a span of time. It wasn't something that just happened yesterday or happened last month. It was something as attitudes and behaviors changed, people began to start to look out for themselves because nobody else was looking out for themselves. There was a time when, as was stated before, I would look out for Sean looked out for me, I looked out for Kyra looked out for Sean, and it was that type of thing. But then we began to get cliquey, and because we began to get cliquey, now I don't look out for Sean because Sean think he's better than me. But I look out for Kyra as long as Kyra's pick my kids up from school.
Yeah.
So then once Kyra caught on to the fact that the only reason why Deacon is looking out for me is because I'm doing something for him. But the moment I stop doing stuff, he's not looking out for me no more. So I'm not looking out for anybody. I'm on my business, and I want to handle what I need to handle. This whole time, Sean's still watching out for you, still watching out for me, not even knowing that neither one of us is watching out for him. And until something happens. And now he's scorned because now he has a trauma because now the people he thought would have his back did, and now he suffered a trauma because of it. Now because of that, now he trusts no one. So this is a problem that evolved over time, and it wasn't something that just happened yesterday.
I can agree with the majority of that, most of that, and just to add to it, I would say that this is the freest and most liberated we've ever been, right? When you talk in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or whatever, we had real threat. You know what I mean? We had to stick together. You know what I mean? That's all we had. We had to stick together or you die. You know what I mean? You had to fend for each other. So as we got more free and we can move the way we want to move and do what we want to do and handle things the way that we want to handle them, and I don't need you. I can do what I want to do. I think it got away from that camaraderie and community, because when I get upset with you, I don't need you. I can go and do my own thing. You know what I mean? But in the 50s, you couldn't do that.
Right.
The 40s, you couldn't do that. We had to fend for each other. But the mindset, just because economically we got better and we got more free, that don't mean the mindset should have changed. We should have built on that. I mean, we should have built on that, segregation, that whole thing when we wanted to, they wanted to do away with segregation. And let's say when Wall Street and Wilmington, all of these different places, when that got done away with and we stopped, building with each other and going in other places. Like if you look today, you'll see like the Jewish community, they got their own ambulance service. They don't call Patterson.
Right.
They call their own service. But they're not looked at as racist. They're looked at as they take care of their own.
Yeah.
Like you ever pay attention? Like the Jewish community has their own ambulance service and they take care of themselves.
Everything. They have their own everything. I remember when I used to work at a nursing home and some Jewish people had took over the nursing home. They paid all the other vendors out in full and brought all their people, all their Jewish companies into the nursing home.
They empower themselves.
Yeah.
They empower themselves.
Their money was staying in their community. Period.
Yes. You look at the Asian community. There's a Chinese restaurant almost every other main street in the urban communities. It's not an urban. There's not an urban store or cultural store in any Chinatown that you go into.
Absolutely not. Hell, look at it in your own city. Look at Sixth Ward.
I was there. I went through there the other day.
That's them supporting and building with each other.
Huh?
we go over
It's
there to eat over
It's
there
all
to
It's
buy
all
stuff.
Aladdin. I'm not even talking about racism. It's all Aladdin. It's a whole new world over there. The whole
You know
new
what I'm
world.
saying? It's exactly when you go into the Sixth Ward, it is a whole nother, and it's in the same city you live in, but it look like a whole nother, like you in a whole nother different part of Addison. It just don't look the same.
That-
It don't look
I
the
can
same.
tell you right now, the Sixth Ward is not going to be a part of Patterson for long. We're going to see West Patterson happen all over again. I mean, not West Patterson. Let me say it right. Woodland Park happen all over again. Give it time. We're gonna be talking about. I remember when that was I remember when that was Sixth Ward. Nope. They about to fight for their freedom. They about to have their own Juneteenth from Patterson.
But they united, and they united and they stuck together.
Right.
So can we read some of the comments?
Diane says Black people had that, but then the jealous white folks burned it down. Black Wall Street. And yeah, we all talk about, Black Wall Street, and yeah, it was burned down. But why was it that we couldn't build it back up?
Yeah, we're talking about
That's the
now.
question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I just
saying?
use that. Yeah, I just use that as an example.
Yeah.
But as right now that we're more free, right?
Yeah.
Back then it was more segregated. It was more racism. It's more blatant racism. I would say that. Now it's more covert. It's more subtle. If it was more racism then, and it was more blatant, and we're more free now, and we have more money now, and we can move more to we can move more, different than the way that we moved back then. Why can't we do that now?
Exactly. That's
Like
the
you have
Black people get together and do that now.
you'll have let's say Black men spend more on Jordans and sneakers, and Black women spend more on hair and lashes with other people than you spend in your own community. Both are billion-dollar industries per year, instead of building up your own communities. So yes, there were jealous people back then, and I know the story. I know it like the back of my hand. But the point was that if they can do it in the 1920s, what's our problem now?
Exactly. That's the question. What's the problem now? Like
When we're more free, more liberated, and more economically available.
Yeah, because we can always go back and say what it was back in the day and how Black people did this and how Black people did that, but why are we not doing it now? When you have more resources.
Yes.
Like, what is the problem now? We are our own problem. It ain't the Black culture, it's us. It's the Black people. We are.
Well, we create.
we are
ultimately we create culture.
Yeah, we do. But this ain't the culture that I want my grandkids to be doing or learning.
What we want and what we is two totally different things. That's why I pulled Derek in and said how the school system used to be versus what it is now. When your child fails, you would go to school and say, okay, like, you would say, what can I do to help my child get promoted? Is there any extracurricular activities or extra credit, anything that they can do? Can he complete any incompletions? Things like that. Nowadays, it's like, hey, why you give my son an F? They ready to fight.
It's like
instead of seeing
engaged with the things that we should be engaged in, like schools and some political things. Those are the things that we should be engaged in, because this is what helps the communities. Instead, we're engaged in other things that have nothing to do with building up your community. Everybody want to fuss. Everybody want to fight. Like, you cannot complain about your kid failing if you don't go to not one board, if you don't go to not one school board meeting. You don't even know what's going on in your school. You don't even know what your child is being taught in the classroom, but you want to complain that your child is failing. Just make it make sense. Like, you can't complain about the violence that's going on in your streets, but yet you sit at home and you don't even go out to vote.
Or let's say there's a police exam that comes out, and none of the people I ain't gonna say none. Let me pull that back. Not a lot of people in the community sign up to take that test. Of course, not everybody want to be police, but you shouldn't want to be thugs neither. Like, to be like, you rather be that than that. like what type of
Or you can't
nonsense is
complain
that?
that it's not enough black police in your neighborhoods. Or
That's my point.
Police officers from the white neighborhoods and the white counties and bringing them over here and da 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 da. Well, guess what? Who they willing to come? So it's like, it's just mind-boggling, the logic that people use to want to complain about stuff, but don't want to help the cause. You gotta want to be a part of something. You can't get black people to come out to nothing unless it's something free.
And I truly believe we need to change that stigma with police, especially as far as wanting to become police officers, because that can truly change the dynamics of the environment and or your neighborhood, from complaining that there's people that's running around in your neighborhood, policing your neighborhood, but they're not looking like you. They don't have the empathy that you may have. They may not treat your kids the way that they should be treating them, because they don't know them. They don't identify with them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start pushing civil service and pushing that, it's good to be a police officer instead of the police is your enemy. Yes, there's a lot of, there's police that, they're against, or they don't do the right thing. Yes, that should make you want to be police even more.
Right.
To push those guys out and to know the process. We got to know the process of becoming officers. There's a residency policy, how long you're supposed to live in the city, before you can become a police officer. All of those different things. But if we don't know how to challenge it or, understand the process, then we're just allowing people from other areas to come into our community, police us, beat us, shoot us, or whatever. But if you go to the ShopRite in their city, you're going to be followed. So you can't even drive in their city, but they can come and beat your ass in your city.
Yep.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. It's like, where's the logic? Make it make sense.
Take your city back.
I don't
Take
even
your
think,
city back.
like, do y'all even know, like, and this is like, do you even know what you're really mad about? Like, do you really even know what you're mad about?
No, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact. It's just the act of being mad, the art of being mad. I tell when I do workshops with parent workshops, I tell parents, the one who with the loudest mouth gets the white glove service. So it's not about knowing what you're mad about. It's about being loud enough so people know that you're mad.
Yeah. I get it.
It doesn't even have to be a reasonable reason to be mad. So it just be loud. If you're
But it's
loud, you raise up enough sand, um, the powers that be will do what they need to do to hush your mouth.
or is it just easier to blame something or someone else instead of taking accountability for your jacked up
Yeah,
action?
that's what I'm about to say. It has to be reasonable.
Does it?
Yeah, because some people just complain just to be complaining. We already said that we have to be more knowledgeable. We
Right.
have to understand process. We have to understand language. We have to know what we're talking about. We got to stop getting in rooms being illiterate about certain things that we need to be knowledgeable about so we can have an intelligent conversation about what we should be doing and what's for the betterment of our children, instead of just somebody yelling and screaming. To have, better dialogue. You got some people that spoke on in different communities. They have in their curriculum, they have financial education. They have real estate. They have stock market. They have different things that will help with this child to become successful. You know what I mean? So if you want these things to be in the curriculum in your city's curriculum or whatever, the way that work, and I love the fact that Shaniqua, I don't even know what she's saying. Yeah, that's a white beater he got on. If you want certain things,
a t-shirt.
If you want certain things in the curriculum for your children, advocate for that.
Absolutely.
Advocate for that. Don't just keep sitting by allowing anything to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Do the research, like Derek said. Look in other cities and other counties and see what's working for them. Look in Kenneline. Look in Franklin Lakes. Look in Saddle River. Look in other places and say, okay, what's going on in their school system? What can we pull from their school system to help our school system? It may be so simple. It may be so simple that, it don't even take, a big financial boom to make it happen.
But things don't get done because people don't come together to do these things. They just don't. That's just like working with Derek with Patterson for Better. Like, we're coming back to the table just to try to figure out how do we get the Black community to engage about the kids' education. You know how hard it is to try to figure out how to get Black parents to come out to engage and be educated about their children's education.
Facts.
It just don't. But yet you complain. So it's just like, damn, do we gotta give out free, give free items away? Do we have to, we shouldn't even have to give y'all nothing. Y'all should be wanting to come and get this information, get the resources, so you can make sure that your child is being educated properly.
Right.
Okay.
Here's the thing though. And this is where my point was about making the most noise without it being educated, because parents understand that if I show up and make noise, it's not about being educated about it, it's about being loud. They'll give me what I need to hush me, and then I can go on back to buy my business. It's not until we learn how to engage parents in an ongoing conversation of change that we will be able to then have those conversations or have those educational moments where they do research and they're doing the research and they're asking for the same data that they're asking the educators for, to make changes and to implement changes that are in the best interest of the student. But we have to first stop the mindset of parents that said, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna yell until they give me my piece of meat, my weight of meat, and then I'm gonna go and buy my business. And say, no, we're gonna stand here together until every child is getting the education that they deserve. And that's where the fight is. That's
Yeah.
where that's where the battle begins. The battle begins on not not being for people not being pleased with the crumbs that they're given when they're entitled to the whole loaf.
Can we take this into consideration as well? Um, Certain parents are children themselves.
They are.
They're children themselves. They probably don't even understand how to move a certain way. They don't know proper protocol. They don't know etiquette. They don't even know what to ask for because they're children themselves.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So you get a bunch of people just yelling and screaming about nothing. You're going to get a bunch of people yelling and screaming about nothing. But I remember somebody wanting to do a parent university. I've been in, I forget what they called them in certain schools where they allowed the general public to come in and be a part of a movement. I forgot what they called it, but I was a part of a few of those in different schools. But we have to really start taking it serious. I mean, you got young parents are getting younger. They're not they're not taking things as serious as we need them to take it as serious. And like I always tell my guys, in the firehouse, just imagine 10 years from now. 10 years from now, when that they them and they said it was a person on the list on a Hackensack Fire Department that's on the list to become a fireman, identified as a cat.
People can identify as whatever they want to identify as now these days.
Just imagine being in a firehouse.
Listen, I had a kid. A matter of fact, that reminds me. I gotta call his grandmother. I had a kid who told me today. I told him to have a seat on your bottom. He was standing up. He had his knees in the chair. I said, "Sir, have a seat on your bottom, please." This young scholar looked me in my eyes and said, "My knees identify as my bottom."
Hell yeah.
And you can't even but this is what they are allowing everybody, this is what happens. This is what they allow. Because you can identify as whatever you want to identify as these days. They're even now, like when kids are now being born, they're going to try. I don't know if the law passed it or not, but you do not have to assign your child a gender. They get to choose their gender when they're old enough to choose what they want to be.
Well, when Sean's School of Hard Knocks open, you better send your kid because we ain't letting none of that shit fly. And Derek gonna be the principal. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a stipend there. It's gonna be a couple $100,000 or whatever. And when they don't wanna sit on their bottom, put them on their bottom. Because I think a lot of us,
but that's
like
how we went to school anyway. Like when I was going to school and we had Miss Tweedy. Miss Tweedy. She ain't give a damn. She tell you to do something you don't do. She used to have a thick as a ruler that she used to pop the hell out of us with. Like it was just like being at home. You act up, you get popped right what you said. They don't have to. Now you going to jail.
Yeah, I know. I know.
The kids,
Need to
it's
get
like the kids run everything.
well. What we gonna do?
Get back to family.
I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I know we don't do something. This gonna be in 10 years. I'm moving to somebody else country, because I don't want it. No, we definitely have to get it together and do better as a people, as a community. We just got to do better. We got to start loving one another.
We gotta start loving one another. Now she want a poly episode. Get your ass out of
No,
here.
no, not that type of love. You brotherly love.
Oh, man.
You know, that brotherhood love that you be talking about so much, you and Derek. That brotherhood. We need that brotherly love.
I don't even know what that is.
I'm just saying, we got to get back to loving and supporting each other, because that's the only way we're going to survive. That's the only way we're going to survive. Otherwise, our communities are going to continue to suffer. Our kids are going to continue to suffer.
I'm gonna get selfish like them. My kid's grown.
My kids grown too, but yet I can sit up here and fight for your kid. My kid don't even go to Patterson. It's not even in Patterson public schools. But yeah, I'm sitting here fighting for your kid.
And I fight for them every day, you know. I fight
because I still believe that your kid is my kid. Just like I would hope people would look at my kids and be like, my kids are their kids. Like, we have to learn to still help and protect each other. Children, family, whatever. We need to still have that mindset to protect each other. It ain't just about me. Me and mine. It's about everything when you look at it as a whole. Because I'm not going to walk past your child if they getting beat up in the middle of the street and look and make sure it ain't my kid and keep on moving. Ever Black TV, hello. Yes, all of that matters. Relationships matter. Love, and family is definitely the answer. But I don't think we're going to solve this problem tonight within this hour. But I do recommend that people do engage more with the resources that are in your communities, and just be more active and learn and research to understand, what you can do to make things better in your own community. Because everything starts with us. We have to be united. So y'all won't see us again until when, Derek? When did I say?
September.
I think it's September 3rd. I think that's the first Tuesday in September. So we will be back September 3rd. We will be on vacation for the whole month of August. You may see some things here and there from us. But definitely look out for workshops and community events for Patterson. And make sure y'all try to engage and go to them and just take in what people are trying to help the communities with, engage, support, volunteer, voice your concerns, your opinions, and if you need help, say you need help so you can be helped. And with that, that's all I got for you. So yes, we will see y'all Tuesday, September 3rd. We will be back. Thank you very much for all of y'all time that y'all spend with us on Tuesdays. We appreciate y'all. Sean, you got anything to say?
Yeah, we're going on vacation, but my Facebook family wants to do a "Who is really the GOAT" Part 2 basketball conversation. So look for that.
Oh, God, y'all that damn who's the GOAT.
They asking for it. They asked for it. We got to give it. So,
There
like I
is no
said,
GOAT.
I'm just saying, Derek tried to slide off. Nope, don't go nowhere. We could do the because remember Herschel was on the last one, and we could do it in his honor. But the community is asking for it to have the forum, who's really the GOAT, the whole basketball thing, LeBron, Michael Jordan, LeBron. But as far as the community, it is. But as far as community,
I don't have to be included in that because guess what? I ain't no man.
I get it.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, but as far as community, I agree with you. It's not gonna be solved overnight. But we truly need to start taking the thing serious. There's a lot of different programs, different events that go on through the city. Just keep your eyes to the ground, keep your eyes out, keep your eyes open for a lot of things that's going on in community. Because there's a lot out there. There's a lot of help out there. Shaniqua Lemon is in the thread. She's wonderful she has a lot going on. Shaniqua Lemon out of New Jersey. You can, keep an eye on her page. Tiffany Jordan, Kamisha Rogers. I don't want to go into more people, but there's a lot of pages that you can, keep an eye on. To whereas there's a lot going on in the city. With that being said, my quote, as I always end with, fuck them kids. Let's get back to family.
Now fuck the kids.
Listen.
Is Derek gone, or is Derek just playing like a ghost?
No, Derek's here.
He took his damn white beater off. That's what happened.
Just not here for that conversation. But listen, I'm so looking forward to this time away. I have one more podcast in the morning to finish before I'm completely on vacation, where I will not give any insights for 30 days. Don't ask me what I want for lunch. Don't ask me what I want for dinner. Don't ask me any questions that has to have to do with a choice. I'm not doing any insightful banter for 30 days. And I'm so looking forward to it. But I do appreciate our Candid Conversation family and all the other family, all the other podcasts, all the other family who follow me from podcast to podcast, for my shenanigans is very much appreciated. Thanks for the support. We'll miss y'all a little bit, but I think we deserve this vacation. Well, Sean does it because he's going to continue to push out episodes, so we're going to let him do what he do. But I'm going to take a nap, and I look forward to that.
Shaniqua, send me that link. Just inbox it into either my personal page or the Candid Conversations, so we can actually put that on our pages. So yeah. So thank y'all once again for always joining the conversation. We will miss you guys, except for Sean, in August. But we will be returning Tuesday, September 3rd with a Cougar episode. So make sure y'all tune in because that is everything. He love them Cougars. So thank y'all for tuning in every Tuesday and giving us your time. We will see y'all in 30 days. Peace, love, and blessings.
We so excited. We so excited.